So now for the next couple, we're going to be talking about hyperbolas that are centered not at 0, 0, but rather at hk, okay? And just like before, and just like with ellipses, when it's centered at hk, h is what's the horizontal change, so that's associated with x, and k is what's associated with y. The only difference now is that our equations for our asymptotes are going to be this. So those, remember, are in point slope form, where it's y minus k plus or minus x minus h. And so if they give it to us in slope intercept form, we can still use a and b for our slope, but we can't really get h and k from that unless we had some other information, right? And remember that when we're looking at vertical, remember it's a over b, and when we're looking at horizontal, the slope is b over a. All right, so let's take a shot at a problem, okay? So it says graph this hyperbola, which is x minus 3 squared over 4 minus y plus 2 squared over 16 equals 1. Okay, so what are they exactly telling us, right? Well, they're telling us, first off, what a is. A is 2. And they're telling us what b is. It's the square root of 16, which is 4. Okay, then we also need to know what the foci are, right? So, okay, so first off, they tell us a. So a is the square root of 4. So in our case, it's going to be 2. Okay, that's a horizontal, right, is 2. B is the square root of 16, which is 4. And notice, back when we talk about ellipses, A always had to be bigger than B, right? But in this case, in hyperbolas, it's not always the case that that happens, that A is less than B, right? It's not always the case. It can be, but it doesn't have to be, right? Now we can figure out what C is. And we do C to figure out C squared. It's equal to A squared, which we know to be 4, plus B squared, which we know to be 16. And so C squared is going to be 20. So C is going to be the square root of 20. So our foci will be located at, they're going to be located at square root of 20, 0, and negative square root of 20, 0, right? Those are the two foci. Then obviously, actually, they're not going to be at 0, to be quite honest. They'll be at negative 2, because how do I know they're going to be at negative 2? From our center, which would be our horizontal change, which is that plus 2, right? So we'll be at negative 2 and negative 2. All right. Now, instead of trying to graph this ourselves, we actually have the opportunity to use like Desmos or something like that. So let's do that. And we're going to look at so we had x, our equation was x minus 3 squared, all of that divided by 4, minus y plus 2 squared, all of that divided by 16 equals 1. Okay, so there's our hyperbola right there. Okay, so again, our endpoints, okay, we said that our endpoints were going to be at, let's see what, so A is 2, right? So A is 2, so we would add 2 to our center, which is at 3, negative 2. So if we went 2 units over, hey, check it out, we know that. We go 2 units from here, 1, 2 again. Okay, perfect. And then we obviously can't see our conjugate axis here. But our foci then, we said we're going to be like square root of 20, which is going to be between 4 and 5. So it'd be about right about here, right? That would make sense. That'd be about right there. And then same right here as well. Okay, so that's pretty good.